Hi, I'm Boxy, and I don't do drugs. Actually, this is Nixie, and I don't do drugs normally either, but I have been recently addicted to a crack equivalent, which I will go into a little bit later. But I wanted to apologize for my brief hiatus. I actually got into a car accident, and I've been kind of like laid up down in the dumps kind of thing, which made me think, because I've been basically flipping off sensor at my insurance company, it made me think of all this time, what if I was spending it in a body cast? You know, this is my example of a body cast, and what would be the game that I would play? And it reminds me of back in the day when I used to go into the nerd room and play Magic the Gathering. And yeah, I know that's extremely nerdy. It's about as nerdy as going to a high school dance by yourself and having to do a nerdy dance alone. But anyway, enough about my sad social life and more about the game. Magic the Gathering Duels of the Planeswalkers requires your thumbs or your mouse and keyboard. They also have a PC version as well as the console, and it was really awesome checking them out at PAX this year. However, I think some of the guys there had swine flu. For those of you who don't know anything about Magic the Gathering, it is a fantasy-themed collectible card game that's strategy-oriented, and it's gone digital. It used to be the card games, the piece of paper in hand, and now it's the pixels on screen. So it basically involves you destroying the other player by any means necessary. And you have all of the different alignments, not to use a D&D reference, but from evil to good, and it's interesting how your character reflects that. Being a great lover of the card game, I needed to get all the Chivos on Xbox Live. So I've done basically everything you can do in the game, and I've noticed several pros and cons. Now, the pros are that it's addictive. That is my crack alternative now. I play it from the moment I get up to the moment I go to bed. It's just kind of like this casual game that you think is casual, but really you end up pouring your entire life into it. So, yes, it's extremely addictive. The replayability is good because, you know, you have with the AI or on Xbox Live, you can there's multiple strategies that you can implement, and with the different card types, you're going to have umpteen different ways of playing the game. Speaking of achievements, you have unlockable cards and your Chivos, as I like to call them, and that keeps you playing, that makes you want to play through every deck. And I believe off the top of my head, I'm not a pro at this, but I think there's like 10 decks. So you have the elf deck, where you have little elves that are small and tiny HP in number, but then they become more and more beefy as you compile them in groups. And then you have the green deck, which is basically your big, already beefy creatures. You have the white deck, which has a lot of your flyers and a lot of your halt, no more attacking and protection and buffs. And the list goes on. Your blues are controllers. So yeah, there's tons of room for expandability and ways that you can add on even more cards. And there's also something called the two-headed giant complex, which is basically you and another person sitting on the couch playing against two of the AI. So it's that in tandem kick-ass style that I really, really like. Now, there are some problems with this game, though. The serious downfalls are, this game is uber glitchy. It was really depressing, you know. I am a strong believer of, if you have a game out, it shouldn't be ridden with bugs. Now, unfortunately, during the two-headed giant, which is you and a friend duking it out with two of the AI, or even on Xbox Live, you have the cards being completely transparent and unreadable. You have it just completely locking up on you at the beginning and completely frustrating you all at the same time. And we did kind of a split test. I had a buddy, and we were playing, and it freezes 1 out of every 15 times when you're playing against the AI on two-headed giant mode. Now, for me, that's unacceptable. You also can't undo your move, so if you accidentally press a button, there's no time for you to fix it. Another thing would be that if you get dropped from the game, or if somebody quits and you're winning, all they have to do is press the right trigger and they freeze the entire game. So somebody can do it out of spite, being a sore loser, and it's just like a huge waste of time. Another thing would be the blocking phase has no timer. So say you have tons of your guys fighting against a ton of other guys. Like, there's not enough time to actually block. So you just kind of end up winning on them by default. Nonetheless, I would say it's a 3 out of 5 llamas, since nobody does llamas. I'm going to capitalize on that. It's good for really patient people, those that are not meticulously analyzing detail in a game. I really enjoyed it just for the pseudo-crack factor, and I think you should go and tap that, whether it be on the PC or the console. Catch you guys later. Bye. Oh shit. I mean...